Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
The federal government has declared Monday 10th of October 2022 as public holiday to mark this year's Eid al-Maulud celebration in commemoration of the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. Minister of Interior Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, who made this declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulates all Muslims both at home and in the diaspora for witnessing this year's occasion. He further admonished all Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of love, patience, tolerance, and perseverance, which are deep spiritual virtues and which the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, exemplified, adding that doing so would guarantee peace, security, and harmony in the country. President Muhammad Buhari yesterday paid a surprise visit to the freed 23 passengers of the March 28, 2022 Abuja Kaduna train attack at the Nigerian Defense Academy Hospital in Kaduna. The president made the impromptu visit after commissioning cadets of 69 regular course Army, Navy and Air Force of the NDA in Afaka, Kaduna State, where he also thanked the Nigerian military for their brave services in securing the safe release of the hostages from Boko Haram terrorists. Meanwhile, the president also expressed concern over the increasing rate of attack by criminal elements on critical infrastructure in the country. Addressing the personal parade and commissioning ceremony of cadets of the NDA in Kaduna, President Buhari said the attacks were sabotaging the efforts of government at all levels to improve the standard of living of Nigerians and charged the military to continue to safeguard the economic and military capability of the nation and replicate the successes recorded in the fight against insurgency in the northeast in other parts of the country.
Seaports, airports, and power sector revitalized through strategic rehabilitation and reconstruction. The same template has been applied in tackling the challenges in the housing, water resources, and health sectors, and unsurprisingly, the first targets of attacks by terrorists are our thriving infrastructure, which was intended to make life easier for Nigerians.
The federal government says Ethiopia's suspension of its visa on arrival to non-resident foreigners at all entry points is due to insecurity, especially regarding its current political situation. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Francisca Omayuli, said this in a statement on Thursday in Abuja, explaining that the measure was temporary, pending improvement in the security situation in the country and not a replacement of Ethiopia's open visa policy. The government, however, urged Nigerians intending to travel to Ethiopia to obtain appropriate entry visas at the country's embassy or via an electronic visa through the country's Immigration and Citizenship Service (ICS) portal. The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU) have failed to get an out-of-court settlement as advised by the Court of Appeal. The federal government's lawyer James Igwe and lead counsel for ASUU Femi Falana told the Court of Appeal yesterday that despite the admonition, they could not resolve the 8-month-old strike. The presiding judge, Justice Hama Barka, then stepped down the matter to enable the counsel for ASUU Falana to file a reply to the counter-affidavit deposed to by the federal government in opposition to the hearing of the appeal. Both parties, however, agreed that the court should hear the application as there was no amicable resolution reached as advised by the court. The Court of Appeal will, however, rule today, Friday, in an application by ASUU seeking its permission to appeal against an order of the National Industrial Court directing its members to resume work. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the NNPC Limited, has informed the public that it has sufficient stock of petroleum products and should not give in to panic buying. The company, in a statement on Thursday by Garuba Mohammed, the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division of the NNPC Limited, said the current queue situation in some parts of Abuja and its environs was due to delays in arrival of fuel trucks. Mohammed said this was happening as a result of heavy flooding that had submerged parts of the highway passing through Lokoja, Kogi. He also said that an incident of a failed road section around Badegi-Agay Highway in Niger State also contributed. According to him, the current situation is temporary and has nothing to do with shortage of petrol, as the NNPC Limited has a 30-day product sufficiency. Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, returned to the country on Thursday from the United Kingdom to the warm embrace of party chieftains and supporters after 12 days away. Tinubu's visit to the United Kingdom has made headlines in recent times as critics claim his absence when political campaigns have kick-started suggest there might be health issues. Concerns over his whereabouts intensified after he missed the signing of the peace accord for the 2023 elections, although he was represented by his running mate Ibrahim Shettima. Speaking after his arrival, Tinubu said his trip was very good and he enjoyed his break, adding that he was now prepared to get to work. The Rivers State House of Assembly has passed a motion to derecognize Celestine Omehia as a former governor of Rivers State. Governor Nyesom Wike will today sign into effect the motion passed. The motion was moved by the leader of the House, Martin Amewule, to reverse an earlier resolution of the 8th Assembly on June 30, 2015, which compelled the executive arm headed by Governor Nyesom Wike to recognize Omehia as a former governor and be accorded all entitlements, privileges and benefits. He argued that the continued recognition of Omehia in that capacity will be a breach of the Supreme Court judgment, which in 2007 removed Celestine Omehia as a governor for not being the duly elected candidate in that year's election. The University of Ilorin Unilori on Thursday dismissed reports that it released 2022-2023 post-UTME screening forms to applicants. Its Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Kunle Akogun, who disclaimed the speculation in a statement, explained that Unilori was yet to take the decision on the screening and all admission applicants to the university should disregard the message currently flying around online platforms to the effect. The Lagos State First Lady and Chairman of the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, Mrs. Ibikjoke Sanwo-Olu, has unveiled activities lined up for the 22nd edition of the National Women's Conference slated for the 18th and 20th of October 2022 with the theme Spring Forth Stand Out. She said the event, which would include a fundraising, would among other things teach women who would be participating both physically and virtually how to stand out as well as engage them on wealth creation. She revealed that the First Lady Aisha Buhari would serve as the mother of the day to declare the ceremony open, while the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike would be the special guest of honor.
Conference is a place where we network and rub minds, improve your intellect. There's a lot of things that the women out there do. So and when you want to reorientate the society, one of the things that you do is to engage them in trainings, engage them in seminars, so that they can understand things better.
You're still listening to the World News. Moving on to the foreign scene, a global alert has been issued over 4 cough syrups after the World Health Organization (WHO) warned they could be linked to the deaths of 66 children in the Gambia. The syrups have been potentially linked with acute kidney injuries and 66 deaths among children, according to the organization. The products were manufactured by an Indian company, Maiden Pharmaceuticals, which had failed to provide guarantees about their safety, the WHO added. The firm has, however, not yet commented. An ex-policeman has killed at least 37 people, most of them children, in a gun and knife attack at a childcare center in northeast Thailand. Police say he then killed himself and his family after a manhunt following the attack in Nongpua, Langpu province. Children and adults are among the casualties at the nursery, according to the police, who said the attacker shot and stabbed his victims before fleeing the scene. The former officer, aged 34, was sacked in June for drug use. Police said it is not clear if there was a motive for the attack. U.S. President Joe Biden is issuing an executive order pardoning all Americans who have been federally convicted of simple possession of marijuana. The move will only affect a relatively small number of marijuana convictions, since most occur at the state level. Recent polls show that a majority of Americans believe that weed should be legal. In business news this morning, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has revealed that it will soon deploy special mission around-the-clock surveillance aircraft to tackle menace of pipeline oil theft. Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, who disclosed this yesterday at the weekly ministerial briefing at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, said that after talks with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, a group of persons from the agency are undergoing training in Italy for about 3 weeks to operate the special aircraft, after which surveillance of the pipelines will commence as a matter of priority.
The Deep Blue project is procured and commissioned to deal with the maritime-related crimes. And I made mention, as at the time of commissioning this project, we have priority to address the issue of piracy within and beyond our territorial waters. And we focus attention on that. Now that we succeeded to a large extent, we will now have to face the issue of oil theft. We have been talking with NNPC and the staff that's supposed to be deployed to address the issue of this oil theft using our own special mission aircraft. They are currently on training in Italy.
Our correspondent Raliat Adinekon reports that the NIMASA DG also said that the piracy in the Gulf of Guinea has drastically reduced since the coming into effect of the Deep Blue project.
From the first quarter to date, we have never recorded one single accident or incident in our own territorial waters in terms of piracy attack. From last quarter of 2021 to date, over a year now, no single attack in our own territorial water. This led to the cancellation of the stigma placed on Nigeria as the most dangerous water and removed from the piracy list in March 2022. From March 2022, Nigeria is being removed from the piracy list for the first time in history. So the result I showed to you is not a Nigerian result, it's the Gulf of Guinea. In the entire Gulf of Guinea, we don't have single attack from the third quarter to date in our own territorial water.
And now to the exciting world of sports, the Super Falcons fell to their Japanese counterparts at the Nova Stadium courtesy of 2 second-half goals from Mina Tanaka. This will be a 5th straight defeat for Randy Waldrum's side. The friendly match was part of Nigeria's preparations for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup taking place in Australia and New Zealand. A notable absentee from the Falcons lineup was the reigning African Women Player of the Year, Azizat Oshuala, who did not join the squad headed for Kobe. Nigeria's para-powerlifting team, also known as the Unstoppables, who flew the country's flag at the recently concluded Birmingham Commonwealth Games, were yesterday celebrated at a breakfast event in Lagos organized by leading sponsor of the team, Big Milk. The event was attended by the Paralympians, officials of the Sports Ministry, the Nigerian Para-Powerlifting Federation, and top management of Friesland Campina Wamco, makers of Big Milk. The organizers, who presented the athletes with latest brand new wheelchairs and several peak products, also renovated their training facility at the National Stadium in Lagos and upgraded their official bus. Speaking at the event, Managing Director of Friesland Campina Wamco, makers of Big Milk, Ben Langert, while acknowledging the remarkable success achieved by the athletes over the years, said the brand is focused on its purpose of nourishing people of all ages, which the team has demonstrated.
Every time the Olympics are there or any of the games are there, we are always surprised by the medal haul that they get. Sometimes they go up to 12. You know, it's just amazing. So that, I would say, is an icing on the cake. We don't do it for the medals, we do it for the purpose, but the medals come as a result of that. So we are really happy.
Captain of the para-powerlifting team, Shade Lufemiayo, expressed gratitude to Peak for their support.
I will first say a big thank you to Peak Milk, because they are the #1 company behind people living with disability in Nigeria. They have been our backbone for the past 6 years. They have been supporting us, kitting us.
Lagos Talks
91.3.